Alrighty. How's it going, guys? Angus here from Muse. Welcome to a very special live stream because I have, for the very first time, the famous Lady Muse.
And not in a gorilla suit, I'm afraid, so if anyone's disappointed about that, I apologise.
No, we couldn't get a gorilla suit in time. Thank you, Kim, for the subscription. This is a test of a new streaming setup that we've been talking about for a very long time. We've been unable to do, which is like a sort of almost talk show news style format with discussions. And by myself, I like to talk to myself a bit, but with someone to bounce things off and sass me, it's going to be a little bit more fun.
Well, it's as they say, the only bit of intelligent conversation you can have is with yourself, so...
Well, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So we've got heaps of people in the chat. We've got Astronaut, 3D Printing Lab, Fernando, Brandon, Animation Creations, Jean-Francois, Wellbot, T. Bental, Phantom, Unlikely Creators, welcome back, JT, Shivel, Shy Wolf, Printin XYZ, wow, David, Backlap, wow, so many of you guys.
Yeah, it's quite a crowd, really.
Yeah, Kat, welcome. So the point of this stream is to test the setup and to give Lady Muse a chance to actually introduce herself and give you kind of a look into what we're planning for Maker's Muse, because we're expanding beyond just doing 3D printing. We're going to be expanding to talking about what's going on in the wonderful world of making and all of that sort of thing. Everyone's freaking out about you.
Really, I don't know. They seem pretty chill about it. Not seeing a riot happening anytime soon.
No.
I do like it. What Eddie Mosser started to think Lady Muse was just another Angus's other personality.
An alt personality.
His alternate ego. At night, he turns into the sassy Lady Muse.
That's me. I just have an alternate personality that I sass myself out on YouTube.
I think that's called masochism or something.
No. Oh dear. But so yeah, this stream is a bit of a test. A couple of things that I was trying to do last night. A lot of you might have heard of the Stream Deck. Have you seen the Stream Deck? It's something like, it's a little grid of buttons that you can press buttons to like change scenes and things.
Was that the thing you were showing me last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that thing, yeah.
I was trying to get this to do it, which is a MIDI Fighter 3D.
Yeah.
So I use this for music, but I couldn't get this to... It's too hard to convert the MIDI to keystrokes. Just don't... It's not worth it. I spent ages.
You did, but at least it lights up nicely.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
It's like a disco under your fingertips.
Yes, that's it's just really fun, but it didn't work. So next plan is to use a bit of Rockhat software, which has a remote control system for your phone. You can use it as an app, and it looks this grid of buttons. I forgot what it's called already. But I'll get that set up for next time so I can change between different camera angles, because we're planning on having different angles for next streams, which will be fun too.
Lots of fun.
Yes. So let's jump into the chat. Richard, did I get this shirt for Christmas? Yes, I did. I love this shirt.
He's been wearing it quite a bit. He loves his little animal motif t-shirts. There's also the flamingo number hiding somewhere.
I haven't worn the flamingo one yet. I might wear it one day.
A very, very buoyant man.
Good to see a new face with less crazy hair.
I don't know about that. I mean, I've kind of got bored from the vanilla look, so just wait and see. Let's see, what else have we got there?
Eric's asking, Angus, I'm launching a YouTube channel. What would you recommend if you're starting from scratch? I am planning to do another video on this, but don't think you need expensive hardware to start a YouTube channel. This is just a C920 webcam. I do have a slightly more expensive microphone, but really you don't need anything too expensive. Yeah, I mean, I used this camera for ages, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this when I was just starting out. Excuse me. And I forgot to turn the air conditioner off.
Yeah, that would help.
I don't want any white noise. Start with something cheap, just make content. Don't worry about expensive hardware. It's a trap, I tell you.
Also, I would probably recommend from a different perspective rather than just hardware, then just really understand what you're doing and why.
Yeah. Have a mission that you start out with and stick to that. Like, mine's inspiring creativity, but yeah, I would just stick with what you're interested and passionate at. Don't try to fake anything, because you're just going to lose interest.
That, and people can often pick that up when you're faking it.
Oh yeah, people will know.
Faking it.
Yeah, you don't want to fake it, because then 4 years down the track, you're still with something you're not really enjoying. It's not a good way to start.
Lady Muse, did Angus design and make a Lady Muse coin just for you? You know what? No, he hasn't. There are many things that Angus has not made for me yet. So when you guys are getting a little bit sad that Angus hasn't designed anything or any requests yet, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Come on. No, I haven't done a Lady Muse coin for her, but I've done many other maker coins. God, I've got so many. The whole point of the maker coin was to test filaments, and there's so many filaments now, it's like I don't have enough room for the maker coins I've printed. Hey Ron, welcome to the chat. Well bought.
Very well picked up. Yeah, I'm originally from South Africa, except I've been here for about 18 years now, so the accent still lingers.
It does still linger.
What is that? Let's see.
There's a few keywords that she says that's very much her roots. It's funny.
Off.
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 Get off.
Get off. Bugger off, Mike.
Bugger off. Oh man. Panzer Shrek, thank you so much for the kind words regarding the Makerspace series. Yeah, no, she was the cameraman again. Now I have someone to help properly with the filming, but the next one will be actually a proper project using our gear. So I've actually installed OBS on the computer I found in the dump, and it did work. So I might even actually be able to use OBS on that computer to record the screen grabs.
I was actually quite impressed with that.
It's nuts. I mean, what? I mean, reckon that someone just threw it away because of the end of year, and you know, companies just to make room for new hardware, they depreciate things and just chuck it away.
Well, it's like one man's garbage is another man's treasure, I guess. So.
Yeah. 3D Print Lab. Can I explain what PID tuning does? It's basically the loop between the microcontroller, and the thermistor and the heating tube, and it's like tightening the response rate between the heating tube and the thermistor for the most accurate temperature, because you don't want the heating tube heating for too long, and then the heat creeps from the heat tube to the thermistor, and then it overheats, like it gets too hot. So it's a process of figuring out the tightest, most accurate tune for those two devices regarding the actual size of the extruder and hot end. So it's worth doing if you want accurate temperature. But again, I've never really bothered most of the time.
I would also like to add at this point, nobody should probably ask me any 3D printed related questions because I know stuff all. No,
she's great at providing like an interesting look into this sort of technology from someone who doesn't really understand it at the level that I do.
What is it? You have the role of the skeptic and what the believer. The believer and
profligate.
The prof.
That's not the right word.
Oh god, too early in the morning for such long words.
Yeah. Unlikely creators, Angus, you need a shelf that displays all the maker coins. I do actually. I really do need some sort of display for all of them, because I've got so many now, and they all have little stories, like what they printed on, like that buzzed filament made from beer, and flexible ones. Panzer Trek latest release of OBS is very nice. Yes, it is. It's very sexy. They've improved it a lot. Oh yes, by the way guys, I have Nightbot running. This is the first test of Nightbot. So it will... I apologize if it times you out for things that aren't deserved. It is a little bit...
temperamental?
Yeah, it's a little bit... It shoots the gun a bit. Jumps the gun a bit. But if you repeat things or spam things, it will kind of jump in. So I do apologize if it does it when you don't deserve it, but it does help keep the chat clean. Yeah. And also, if you do want to support the stream, guys, there's links in the description for donations. I really do appreciate it. Everything goes back into the streaming of Makers Muse Live. So thanks to your donations, we've got a new microphone so you can hear us better. We've been able to set the space up, and we're able to lure Lady Muse onto the stream.
The promise of chocolates.
The promise of delicious treats. There's a little line towards the door of little treats.
Chris has been tricked.
So this is going to be more of what we're going to be doing for news and things. So in this setup, in future, we're going to be talking about news like upcoming Kickstarters, new technology developments, 3D printing drama.
Yeah, gotta thrive on the drama.
Shivel, how much cryptocurrency do you have now? I have as much as you gave me and Joel gave me. I have that much Ethereum, which I appreciate very much, but it's completely not required. But thank you. That's my first taste, and now Coinbase keeps trying to get me to buy Bitcoin. I had to unsubscribe from their emails.
Don't get me started on cryptocurrency.
She is not a believer.
No. I like to call it the dummy coin and leave it at that.
Ron says you're a lucky man. Yes, I am.
Everyone needs a sassy lady in their life.
A piece of candy. A piece of candy. That's exactly what happens.
This trail of candy is not suspicious at all. I think someone asked me a question before about what art stuff I use. What was that?
Let's have a look. Sorry if we miss any questions, by the way, guys. Here you go.
Oh, okay, so 3D Printing Lab asks me, what do I use to draw? Oh, so I'm currently wearing the Safety First Joel shirt. Ah, well, good man. You got good taste, I assume you're a man. But anyway, what do I use to draw? Of course, beyond the staple of just paper and pencil, which is my first true love and will remain so. I do use my Wacom tablet quite heavily, so I've got one of the large Cintiqs. I think it's about 5 years old now, but it's a sturdy little beast and it's made me very happy for a long time, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Ejustra. I'm sorry, how do you say that?
We'll just call it the GZ, man.
Thank you so much, GZ, for the $10. I really appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Will do. Thank you so much for the support.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. Ben saying he has 32 seconds lag. That's pretty good for YouTube live, actually. It used to be a lot more. So we have a fiber to the premises network. So I keep changing the window.
No, we've lost everyone.
Oh no. So it should be pretty quick. Did I buy you her drawing tape tablet? No, I haven't bought her the new tablet yet.
And I think it'll be quite a long time before I see that.
Yeah, they're expensive, but soon, probably this year, definitely at some point.
Yeah, I'm investing in my illustration and designs this year, so hopefully by the time it gets to that, I'll actually have enough money to actually purchase it for myself.
Exactly. Someone's asking what's my Twitch name. It's just Maker's Muse. But guys, I don't stream on Twitch. I was looking at it, but I chose to stream on YouTube because it's the platform I'm familiar with, and it's the platform I built my audience on. So if you guys come over from the Maker's Muse page and you want to see the live stuff, I was like, look, you can subscribe to the live page, live channel. If not, don't worry about it. Instead of taking you to a whole other platform, I'm just not comfortable with that at all. CR10 or Tornado for first 3D printer? I don't know.
Which
CR10 or the TiVo Tornado. The CR10's definitely got a bigger fan base. I would lean towards that if you can afford it.
Yeah, I would imagine you get a lot more online support with that one since it's got a bigger base.
Yeah, it's the original and best, I think. There's a lot of clones of the CR10, and they probably all work okay, but, oh, jeez. Thank you so much. WKRP28 for $30. Enjoy your work. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much, man. Do I have the best internet in Australia? We're pretty close. In terms of internet for a domestic location, we actually moved to get the internet. A lot of people don't believe us, but we actually moved to get it. We didn't have access to it where we were before. We had broadband, which is like 10 megabit down and 1 megabit up. It took, how long? 3 hours to upload a video?
Was this in Perth or
Both.
Sydney? Because in Perth it would have taken about around 6 to 8 hours actually to upload, and then when we went to Sydney it would took 3 hours.
Yeah, what we would do is I would, basically in the early days of YouTube, most of my first videos I would edit and then go to bed and leave them uploading all night. Because if you tried to use the internet while they're uploading, it would be too slow. So that was the only way to get videos out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Our nights were not very pleasant.
No,
peaceful.
we couldn't use them. Oh, Panzer Shrek, thank you so much for the $10. Hurry up with getting Lady Muse's tablet. It will get, okay, that will go towards her tablet.
My little coin jar.
Her little coin jar.
I got a question for me.
Where's the question for you?
Up.
Oh, sorry.
You're the man on the keyboard. Where is it? What is that? Have you shoved a rainbow gay time into Angus's mouth yet? that's a pretty loaded question because that could have been taken either way. I'll leave no comment for that one.
I shoved a rainbow gay time into my own mouth. Thank you very much. I was disappointed. I expected more of a rainbow flavor. It's a bit like rainbow paddle pops. They look like they should have some crazy flavor, but they don't.
Basically, I'm the one in the relationship that enjoys highly brightly colored products that, you know, are loaded with artificial sugars.
Yeah. I'm okay with a normal gay time. Thank you very much.
He loves it.
I like a traditional gay time. Although I have had a deep fried gay time.
You like
which was amazing.
You like your romps in the summertime?
No, it's not what I'm talking about. No one will know what we're talking about unless they're from Australia.
Yeah. Will there be any baby muses coming anytime soon? Not if I can help it.
Maybe 3D printed baby muses.
Yes.
3D printing lab, I have gigabit internet speeds. That doesn't exist in Australia. There was a competition where we are to win it, and I think it was like within a 10-kilometer radius of the distribution. I think we technically could get it, but it's just so expensive. If you want gigabit or faster, you need to lay your own fiber line and be your own basics supplier, and it take over a node. It's nuts. This is going all sorts of wrong. This is why I included her in the stream. She brings out the worst in me.
Yeah, probably should have specified at the start that is this a PG stream, or are we getting a little bit into adult time here?
Okay. Maker's Muse Live is off the cuff. It's intended to be off the cuff. There is occasional profanity and adult content. As a warning to anyone coming into this stream expecting PG safe content, because it's not always going to be that way, because one, we're live, and two, I have this thing on with me who just... I mean, in previous streams, she's just like been like, oh shit, oh fuck, and
crap.
oh crap. And this is like on the normal Maker's Muse channel. Oh, I missed someone. Hold on. Thank you, Nick. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support for the community. No worries, man. Thank you so much.
I love your community work.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm here. I'm here to help and support people.
I do often get, Angus, showing me, messages now and again on YouTube going, thank you for all your help. It's really,
Yeah, it makes me happy. Like, it keeps me going. Sometimes I'll have a sort of a rough day where I don't feel like making content. You're as a creative, you get slumps. And then, your support guys really pulls me through. I really appreciate it.
I think I saw a question earlier about Wacoms, if they're still in use. This chat goes so quick.
There you go.
Okay, are Wacom tablets really the artist tool of choice still? I remember those from 30 years ago. Look, I'd actually probably say they are, just because from the reviews and a lot of the tools that I see professional illustrators use, Wacom tablets are still mostly the preferred tool. Like, I wouldn't quote myself on that, but the amount of consistency and quality I've seen in Wacom over the years, I still think they're one of the leading providers of tablets. Like, I haven't really seen any other drawing tablet on the market that has been able to come close to them.
No, we've because I've always been keeping an eye on new technology, and I show it to Lady Muse when we find it. But like the Surface Studio, for example, you should explain the experience we had at the Microsoft store with the Surface Studio.
It's like, if you want to put me in hell, just give me one of those tablets.
Yeah.
Like, this pen sensitivity was just absolutely poor. There was a huge amount of delay and lag. Like, no professional would use this product at all.
No. And then all the reviews for the Surface Studio are the same. They're basically saying all the professional cartoonists and illustrators are like, I have to press too hard and it does like a little tick at the start. It's got too much lag. I don't know why. It's really upsetting because I had the first generation Surface Pro, like the first one Microsoft made, and it was the best bloody portable tablet I've ever had because it wasn't thermally throttled. It had a 2-hour battery life, which was abysmal. But if you could plug it in, it was really powerful, and it had a proper Wacom digitizer. So Lady Muse would use it for illustrations at like uni and things.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. And then it fucking got bricked with a Windows update. So like I had to take it back to JB Hi-Fi where I bought it, and they're like we can't fix it. There's no distribution network for repairing with Microsoft tablets, so we have to give you a new one. Here's a Pro 3, and you have to pay a difference of money. So I had to pay a bit more money. Yeah. And I've still got the Pro 3. It's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
It thermally throttles, and the N-Trig system is terrible compared to Wacom. They didn't have to pay licensing. So yeah, like unfortunately Wacom is still the best. And well, unfortunately, I guess that's how it is. It's still great. It's still the best technology.
Hey, I'm still very happy to always defer to Wacom. Like, I would happily sit here and say, if you want to go with the drawing tablet, go with just the Wacom, because they always are consistent with their quality.
Yeah, Scott just said the same thing. They used it in the first service. It was great. Then they went to their own and it went to crap. Exactly. Yeah. Preach. Yeah.
Yeah, the first, someone said.
Huh?
The first Surface tablet better have been awesome. They spent 12 years developing it.
Oh yeah, no, it was really good. It could play games. I remember playing like Bioshock on it and everything. Oh, John Francois, thank you so much. Thanks for the streams. I really appreciate it. And it'll go straight back into keeping these streams going and making them better. Thank you so much. Someone was talking about filament, preferable filament. Did I miss it somewhere? We're back to that's the gay time bit.
Yeah.
I just assume someone's talking about favorite filament. If you're in Australia, I like to buy filament from Hobby King because it's dirt cheap. But over in America, you've got Hatchbox on Amazon, which I know from High Authority is very good for the price. And I think Matterhack has just released a cheap range of filaments too. But these days, you can't really go wrong. Like, you'd have to really be unlucky to cheap out and get a bad quality filament. Holy crap, Eddie!
Eddie?
Holy shit.
Towards a tablet or what?
Oh my god, man. Thank you so much.
Put towards a tablet or whatever other than rainbow flavors. Oh, thank you so much, Eddie.
That's going straight towards a tablet.
Oh, absolutely.
If you guys don't know Lady Muse's artwork, if you hit up, she's actually Fat Celiac on Twitter. She does illustration as her passion, and if you want to get a commission, she's up for it. Has to be either cute or creepy, or a combination of the two.
Oh god, okay. I didn't think I asked for this advertising service.
Well, you got it. Nick is asking, with all the slices out there, do I see any specific trends with different 3D printers? Not quite sure what you mean by that question. Any specific trends? Something we're seeing a little bit more with the printers is more automatic functions like filament detection and bed leveling, like the Prusa Mark III, which is great for usability. It makes them easier to use for newcomers. With the slicers, I think, again, just making them more automatic in their functionality. Stuff like Prusa Control. What's another easy to use one? Slicer's getting easier. Cura's really powerful now. Something we're seeing more of is just more intelligent features, like the ability for the layer heights to change. So if you have a curve, the layer heights can get finer towards the top, so you don't see those layer changes. Yeah. But I think easier to use is the most important thing. What do you reckon?
Yeah, for entry level, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the more steps you have to introduce into the process to get someone to engage with the product, the more likely it is to fail and less likely you are to get them interested.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, Ron, thank you so much for the $5. Cup of tea or coffee for Lady Muse. Water for Angus. That's my water. I've already had a nice coffee.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. William's saying, I've been making architectural models for over a year and I'm so close to pulling the trigger on a Form 2, but they're so expensive in Australia. Oh, I miss the Form 2. I had to send it back. I only had it as a loaner unit, but that is an awesome machine. The only thing I would say is if you're making architectural models, you still need support material, and it can be a real nightmare to remove.
I don't know. I think if they've been in architecture, they would understand everything about support material. I mean, let's be honest here.
Yeah, if you're used to making models by hand, you'd want to make like the roofs separate, and then you want to make the base and walls, and then you put it together like an Airfix model or like a traditional architectural model. I honestly, depending on how many orders you get, I reckon you could pay it off in 2 jobs.
Yeah.
The amount of the old company I used to work for they survive on architectural models now. They use like a Fortis system from Stratasys, which prints very high detail FDM with support material that's soluble, and they subsist on architectural models now, and it's a real cash cow.
Hey, if you're in Australia, you know, one of the biggest cash cows is the mining industry, and they are currently actually employing 3D printing technology in that. So that's also another big money earner if you can somehow get into that market.
Yeah, that's what I used to do in Perth as well. We make scale model trucks for the mining industry for their huge haulers. But also in some areas of Australia, like some areas of Sydney, some councils mandate models. As you probably would know, before something can be approved, they have to have a model, which is like, okay, you can print it. So yeah, honestly, I think it's a worthy investment. Honestly. Sorry, Angus, but she's prettier than you.
I don't know. These luscious locks are hard to compete with. Let's see.
Oh, Nightbot. If only they worked. Yeah, look, it's not perfect. I will be fine-tuning Nightbot. This is the first test of it, and that's why I didn't really schedule this too far in ahead of advance. It's not perfect. I do rely heavily on my amazing mods like JT and Shivel and Jackman when he's in. But yeah, just bear with it, guys. If you get banned or something, just send me a message and I'll fix it. I do apologize. Thanks for the subscription, Brent. Really appreciate it. Have I made it with Joe after trying to fry myself? Yes, I have. Joe was very understanding. He's a really nice guy. If you haven't heard, he's made the list of 30 under 30 for Europe. So he's in the top 30 most powerful men almost under 30 in Europe.
Yeah.
It's nuts. And all because of 3D printing. It's crazy what he's accomplished. And look, it was a mistake on my part. I wasn't convinced. That's why I didn't go out on Twitter and like talk about it. I wanted to figure it out. And it's still something that was a big issue because it's not just Joseph's printer. It's all printers with those external power supplies. If they're not grounded, you can get voltage. But I think I clarified it enough, and all thanks to you guys, you figured out what was going on.
Yeah.
So he's pretty understanding.
Yeah, well, basically when we met up with him briefly at the Maker Faire, he seemed like a very good bloke.
He's a really nice guy. I really did get along well with Joseph.
Yeah. Good chemistry.
Yes. Apparently my hair is still fabulous. What do you reckon?
It is absolutely fabulous. I'll feel sad when you have to go get a haircut.
I gotta get a haircut soon, guys. It's getting ridiculous. Yeah, no one ever knows what Nightbot is gonna do. Love that Stingray pajama top. Oi, it's not a pajama top. It's a fully functional t-shirt. Although I often wear pajama pants when I'm streaming and doing videos.
And
you never knew.
No, and when you go to the shops, let's be honest.
Yes, and when I go to the shops.
Yeah, there are sometimes women who give Angus a little bit of a look when they're passing by in the store.
Someone was like, "Did you see his pants?"
Yeah.
No shame.
Yeah, and then I walk a little bit faster than you, put distance.
Oh man, will I be doing a once a week stream here? That's the plan. This slot is when I used to do my streams originally, and then essentially I want to do because I think in a couple of hours Linus Tech Tips does their WAN show. I don't want to be on that slot because I like watching it. So this is the ideal slot for us talking about news and topics in 3D printing. I plan to have guests on the show, have Skype fired up, and get some of the other amazing 3D printing channels on. This is the slot planned.
Yeah, and also let us know if you want me to be more, involved with the stream as well.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys.
Because Lady Muse always used to be off camera doing moderation and stuff, but here she is, and we're happy to keep it going. And on Sunday, that's when I will usually do my Patreon only streams. So essentially, it's like for really long-winded questions and complicated topics. I really love really want to thank you guys' support on Patreon. So that's when I'll be doing the private streams, which will be going public after we're done with them. But yeah, Saturday and also the Wednesday, which is probably your Thursday. Wednesday is probably your Tuesday. Time zones are so hard.
Yeah.
That's when I do the stuff in the workshop, like just finished the Mark III build. We'll be unboxing printers, putting things together, doing workshop stuff. Yeah. Adventures in 3D Printing, is Joel telling here? I don't think Joel is here. The poor guy is very, very busy.
He's absolutely flat out.
He is absolutely flat out. Will they be streaming for West Europe friendly times? I'm not sure, unfortunately. Morning streams are really when I can only do it. Late night, I'm not ready in the right mindset.
Actually, I'd probably argue that sometimes we might mix it up because it might be interesting to try in different time slots as well. So and see if we can get a little different audiences. Yeah, so I think it'll be a good test to do. In the past, I have done ones at like 9 o'clock PM our time, and that's been popular for the guys in Europe. So. Yeah, look, bear with me. We might be able to make that work. Okay, what is this? Animation creation. Question for Lady Muse. Who has the best hair, Angus or Joel? Oh, this would be a good one. No, I can't actually answer that because the integral thing to decide hair quality is the stroke test, and unfortunately, I haven't had the privilege to do that to Joel's hair yet. So I can only get from anecdotal evidence from other people's experience with Joel hair, but otherwise I can't actually say who's got the best. Very important question. Oh, very important. Crappy Salika is asking, what are your thoughts on the Ender 2 as a starter printer compared to the Tron XY? I've heard really good things about the Ender, actually. I don't have one. I believe Jatman was testing one over on his channel, although he does Twitch mostly now. He was really happy with the Ender 2. So it's worth a shot, actually. I haven't tried it myself, but apparently it's quite decent. The Tronxy X1 is, if that's what you're referring to, is a very cheap machine. You get what you pay for. It's okay, but it's not fantastic by any means. Just to interject, Shivel is completely right. What do you say? No pants is best pants. Oh, of course. Yeah. I could get away with it. I don't know if you can... Can you see my pants? No, you can't see my pants. Should we even verify if there are indeed pants? There is pants. There is pants. It would be like one of those streamers where they like accidentally stand up and show like their boxes. Mitch 3D, is that Lady Muse? Yes, this is Lady Muse. Finally on stream. Hello. Angus of the Room is true. Does everything want to kill you in Australia except for Lady Muse? Well, she wants to kill me sometimes. Sometimes. Kind of. Australia's a harsh mistress. We have snakes, we have sharks, we have arid environments, but really the snakes are pretty shy, the sharks are pretty shy, the drop bears are pretty uncommon. We got a shark called the nanny shark, for goodness sake. Yes, that's it. Very a gentle creature. It's nurse shark. Oh, why do I keep saying nanny shark? I don't know. Oh, Eric, thanks so much for 15 bucks. What was that? Split the money. You both deserve it. Thank you so much. She does keep things rolling behind the scenes, guys. Like, she's the reason I'm alive, I'll be honest. Yeah, gotta take full credit for that. But yeah, we've got the nurse sharks. We've got wobby gongs, which will give you a bit of a gumming. They can cause a bit of damage, but they're not too dangerous. And kangaroos. Kangaroos are actually more likely to kill you than a shark. Yeah, kangaroos get a bit aggressive sometimes. I mean, there's a legit story. I was taking Lady Muse to work once back in Perth, and we were late because there was a red kangaroo on the road. Yeah, I actually had to call up work saying, sorry, I'm going to be late. There's a bloody kangaroo on the road. Yeah, there's a kangaroo on the road because it was being scared by a guy's dog in the back of his ute, and it was getting all, they get all huffed and they're like that. Like, they get all aggressive. So he had to calm it down and get it off the road. Oh, here's one. Would you swap Lady Muse for gigabit internet? Yeah, I would swap myself for gigabit. Mum's the word. Internet, yeah. I don't need it. Look, we have access to 200 symmetrical if I want to. I can pay a lot more money to get it. This is 180-bit, 1080-bit stream. Talking is hard. It is 1080p. Jesus. And it's not lagging or anything. If I went to 4K streaming, fine. I would need probably a much faster internet connection. But who watches 4K streams? Like, you'd need an insane setup to receive it, let alone send it. Kangaroo boxing is real. It was real. Yeah, that's actually quite nasty. That's Australia's colonial history right there.
The birds can kill you too. Recent research shows that they transport fire around. Yes, that's crazy,
Yes.
You were reading about that.
I was reading about that, and I was actually telling Angus about that yesterday. It's absolutely nuts. They'll use the fire, and also apparently they also use their wings to fan the flames into certain direction to flush animals out. And that it sounds like it's bullshit, but it's not.
No, yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. I love watching bird behavior. I've mentioned it before on the streams, and we live near a park, and it's really interesting seeing like how different types of species of birds act. And we've seen them down the beach, pick up shells and like drop them from a height to try to break them open. You see them have little squabbles and little conversations. We've seen like owls sort of tuck themselves into nooks to look like they're hidden. Like all these little things they do. It's really interesting. Simon, am I going to add Super Chat to the streams? Okay, fun fact about Super Chat. It's not enabled on this channel because YouTube's new rules say, yes, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 hours of watch time. Now, this side channel on Maker's Muse has received that now. It's over 1,000 subs and it's over that much watch time. But their stupid system relies on manual reviews. So they have so many manual reviews to do now that it still hasn't been verified. And I honestly don't think I'll bother turning Super Chat on because it's just making YouTube profit off your support versus the current donation setup we've got now, where PayPal takes a small cut, but really it's not a huge amount. Whereas Super Chat, it's a 30% cut. So YouTube gets 30%, just bam, and they won't even give it to me. So at this point, I'm pretty salty about it, and I'm like, look, I don't even care anymore about YouTube giving me Super Chat in this channel.
Yeah, just cut out the middleman, I think, at this point.
Yeah, and for you guys, look, I will again be doing a stream or video on my tips for growing a hardware-based YouTube channel and making it sustainable so you can make it a full-time job, because I want to enable you guys to get past this stupid change. But for now, look, don't worry about Super Chat, and don't even worry about monetization too much, because it's a fraction of what you can get through other means, like supporting the community through courses and ebooks and things. So I'll talk a bit more about that later. But yeah, and yes, I have enabled the ability to accept cryptocurrency.
Why? Why?
So it's a bit of a joke, but I'm fascinated by the idea of cryptocurrency as an idea of anonymous donations, even though it's not truly anonymous because of how Australia's laws are. But yeah, you can actually donate through cryptocurrency now, and the creator of that script jumped into my previous stream because they saw people using it, which was cool. It's currently designed for Twitch, but I just hacked it to use it for YouTube. Thank you so much, Wayne. Just pledged on Patreon. Awesome. Hope to catch you tomorrow. Josh is saying, my Melzy board just fried. Yeah, Melzies do that. Do I replace it with something better or just put a MOSFET on a replacement Melzy? So I assume it's your heat bed that killed it. Yeah, look, these Chinese boards are not designed to run a heat bed at high temperatures for a long period of time. If you're heating up beyond 60 degrees Celsius, I don't really recommend it in general on these systems because it's quite dangerous. The circuitry is pushed to the limit. I don't know, like I've never pushed a Melzy board past printing PLA. I don't trust it on ABS. Tony, thanks so much for the donation, $20. Trying to get... Oh, so you got the cryptocurrencies going. So that was Ethereum. Sick. There you go.
Yeah. Oh goody, more dummy coins for the dummy pot.
Such a hater. Such a hater.
No, everyone's starting their own little cryptocurrencies everywhere, and I feel like I need to get in on this deal.
There is so many though, so many altcoins. It's absolutely nuts. That 3D print guy, 30%. That's insane. Yeah, I didn't know it was that big because they don't tell you. It gets integrated into your income as a general lump sum.
Yeah,
they're really sneaky, and that's why I'm so pissed with them. Yeah, but look, if you guys have donated in Super Chat before, look, I really appreciate it. Even though they take a cut, I really appreciate the support, and it does go back into the channel. So don't feel upset about it. I'm just pissed as a creator because YouTube hasn't done anything, in my opinion, to deserve that.
But not everyone has that option.
No.
So people can only do the best that they can.
Yeah, absolutely. People are asking about YouTube Red. One, I have no idea if YouTube Red affects how monetization works. it's just this magic algorithm that has a percentage because it stops ads showing. Who knows? YouTube doesn't release any figures. And then someone mentioned if I would do a YouTube Red series. Maybe. If YouTube came and paid me to do it, yes. But I don't know what it'd be on.
Do your own. Just stick to yourself.
Yeah. I don't think YouTube has any interest in doing Red series with creators outside of America, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
They all seem to be based in like New York or California. They all seem to be based in the major cities where the YouTube spaces are and stuff. I don't think they're going to contact me.
Not in Australia.
They have worked with Colin Furs, but he's massive, so that's a little bit different. 3D Print Kid, do I have any tips for starting a 3D printing YouTube channel? Yes, I am planning a video to talk just about that. Editing videos takes ages. Just keep at it. You'll get better. Editing videos is one of the biggest time sinks, but you have to do it. You can't make a video without editing it. It's not going to be very good.
And besides, once you master it, it transcends the quality of your videos to the next level. So it's something you just got to keep at it and just keep learning. Yeah. Because it really makes a difference at the end.
It does make a difference. And when you get bigger, you could outsource it. I know Joel does have another person who does his video editing now, as does Tom's 3D, I think. But I personally like to have the control over my editing. And because I've been involved in actually filming the content, I know how to edit it quicker. So I'm getting better. You get better with hotkeys.
Yeah, you're just going to outsource a bit of the filming to me now.
Yeah. So now I just get her to do some filming, which is very handy.
Pick and choose.
Yeah, Josh is talking about the heat bed that killed his printer. 70 degrees C is still enough to kill a shitty MOSFET, unfortunately. I don't know, like, in these situations, I do like the original ramps boards because they had a proper MOSFET you could heatsink. Even though it's really old school, like, they did have that proper through-hole MOSFET, not this crappy surface mount stuff the Melzies have. But look, an external one might work. I just think it's a hack, honestly. What?
Melzies.
Yeah, Melzi. It's named after Mr. Melzi.
Sounds like a Millhouse to me.
A Millhouse board.
Is it a Millhouse board?
No, it's not.
I have to make that a thing.
Yes. Oh, this room's slowly heating up because we turned the aircon off. Today is really hot, and where we are in Wollongong, it gets super humid because the mountains trap the heat and the humidity, and the trees release water vapor. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Jan, for the $6. Really appreciate it. Mr. Beast, my bank account got blocked from donating to streamers too much. What do I do? What the heck? Did they think you were like hacked or something?
Yeah.
If your bank blocked it, go call them and be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I mean, if it was like they thought your credit card had been stolen, I would actually prefer that. Otherwise, I don't know. Yeah. How long am I streaming for today? I don't know. We're just doing a test. So far, so good. I mean, you guys seem to be able to hear us properly.
Yeah.
The room seems to be lit up nicely.
We're not baking too bad.
Yeah, it's not too hot. I mean, it's pretty warm. You notice there's a big blank spot here. We're planning to have a big Maker's Muse logo.
Yeah.
Should be nice. Will I be talking about laser and CNC routing? Yes, I will on the channel. I have a CNC router ready to go, and I plan to be getting a laser cutter in a couple of months, probably. A couple of weeks, maybe. More like a few months. PP is in polypropylene, most annoying thing ever to print. Polypropylene is a nightmare. It only sticks to itself. So if you want to print polypropylene, you need polypropylene tape on the bed, and it'll stick to the tape. But it won't stick to anything else because it's one of the most slippery thermoplastics you can print with. Oops, I just bumped the microphone. I do apologize.
Everything flies.
Everything went flying. Early visit to Aldi on Wednesday. Yes, we might even go down to Aldi to see what happens.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Should be a lark.
Because they're selling the Cocoon Create Touch again, which is going to be pretty cool. Yeah, it's a good printer. $500, you can't go wrong. Honestly, in Australia, it's $500 Australian. You can't buy much printer with that.
Oh, hello. A little bit up. No, up. Yeah. Terrence King, I'm almost done modelling Presto, aka Preston, from Press Reset. Do you, Angus, have a robot illustration I can turn into a model?
Well, that's a question you can field. Can you do the illustrations?
Yeah, I can comfortably say that no, Angus doesn't have any robot illustrations for you to model because Angus can't illustrate worth a damn.
Well, I can't illustrate, but she's the illustrator. Oh, yeah. Damn. Someone subscribed on Patreon. Sorry, I missed that. Computer's doing its thing.
You wish you could illustrate.
I cannot illustrate at all. I'm terrible.
I should actually show them your last illustration.
No, you shouldn't show them that. You should never show anyone my illustrations ever, especially when I try to draw characters.
You can't even draw a duck.
I can't draw anything.
It looks like this kind of like Bart Simpson-y kind of creation monstrosity.
So mean. People saying all good here, 1080p. Yeah, I don't know. The internet's a little bit iffy. Jan, I had success with polypropylene, but no luck with POM. I need to do a warning video about POM. Actually, no one should ever print it. Basically, polyoxymethylene, I think it is also known as polyformaldehyde or acetal. It's a really strong engineering plastic. It releases formaldehyde gas when you print it, and like a lot of it. And I've tried it, and I have like had my eyes wince from the gas, and I was like, "This is terrible." And it shrinks like twice as much as ABS. So the parts failed anyway. It warped on a like a 100-degree heated bed enclosed in a chamber, and it almost tear gassed me. So. Don't ever try to print with POM unless you have a proper machine to do it. Literally, guys. Just don't do it.
Yeah, as I saw some people going, talking about Adobe Illustrator and Inkscape, and I'm gonna say, no. Clip Studio is the best, guys. Clip Studio kicks all of their butts.
Clip Studio is pretty good.
For what I need anyway.
No, but I'm better at Illustrator. I like to work on... I'm more of the graphic design guy. You know... She's the illustrator.
Yeah. I do the fun, useless shit.
You do useless shit. Polyoxymethylene. I almost got it right. Yeah, there you go. So don't print POM, guys. Just don't do it, please. Unless you have a real machine designed to do it. It's only going to end in tears. Someone subscribed. Sorry, I just missed that. MD Roberts. Thank you so much. And Darren from before. So yeah, if you just joined the stream, guys, this has been an interesting test to evaluate this room. And the point of these streams is going to be news on the 3D printing space and the maker ecosystem and environment in general. Talk about what's been going on in that. Field some questions and talk to guests like Lady Muse here, who has been wonderful. And also we might be able to do Skype calls with people, you know, other 3D printing channels like Joel 3D Printing Nerd and such to cover interesting topics, and Chuck from Chuck Hellebuck's Electronics. 3D Nooblet, thanks so much for $6. Thanks for all the great vids. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so the idea of these streams is to basically cover those topics in a comfortable environment. This is a comfy couch. We've got a nice room here. Oh, Joseph, nuts. Thank you so much. Thanks. You guys are blowing it up. Thank you for all your work. Are the spiders in Australia really as big as the internet leads me to believe? You can field that one.
Oh, that is a difficult one. Because I'm not sure what's in vogue on the internet now about how big Australian spiders are. It might have increased in size last time I checked. You can get really big ones like, wasn't it the bird-eating spider or something?
Yeah, you can get big ones. The littler ones are the ones you got to worry about. It's like with scorpions, you know. We have pretty big scorpions as well, but little ones are the ones that are toxic. You've got like... We've got huntsmans, for example. Huntsmans, you know, easily bigger than my hand. You know, they can get about that big.
Yeah.
If you get unlucky. They're really passive. They just want to get away from you. They look scary, but they're really not. They're harmless.
The funnel webs are
dangerous, but they're really quite reclusive. You got to be really unlucky, like stick your finger into them to get bitten, but they'll kill you. And then there's the redbacks. We get a lot of redbacks, but again, they're really timid and they're very small. So they'll you got to really piss them off, and then they're only really dangerous if you're very old and sickly or if you're very young.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you get bitten, you just feel a bit crook and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're not going to die from their bites. And then you've got the whole whitetail, necrotic bite myth.
Yeah, I think the whitetail thing was a myth. The bites still hurt like hell, but they're not going to make your arm fall off.
Yes.
Just treat bites with respect. It's our snakes that are really dangerous, though. If you get bitten by a taipan or a brown snake, and you got to step on them to be really unlucky, then you're pretty much in trouble. You can die very quickly.
We did see a rather large python.
Yeah, we get lots of pythons. They're actually good. They eat the rats. They keep the vermin down.
And they are adorable.
They are adorable. So a lot of the, especially up in the sugarcane fields, what they'll do is they'll set fire to the sugarcane to scare the snakes out before they go through with the threshers, because they don't want to hurt the snakes. Or they want to be bitten for a start, but they don't want to hurt the snakes because they're good at keeping the vermin down. Carl's asking how I print it with polycarbonate. I have. Polycarbonate is more difficult to print than ABS, and there is some concerns over the fumes, but it isn't as nasty as POM or, like Ron just said, Delrin. Delrin is a nasty thing to print. Polycarbonate, actually, in my experience, has been pretty good. I found the Polymaker PC Max is the best because they've added something to it to make it a little bit more stable, not absorb too much moisture. But yeah, it works really good on the Up Mini 2, where I printed stock ABS settings, which on the Up Mini 2 are hotter than normal ABS. It's really confusing. Their own ABS has polycarbonate in it. So if you print stock ABS settings on the Up printers, it's actually around 260, 270 degrees Celsius, which is perfect for polycarbonate. So yeah, it actually works really well, and it's super tough. I use polycarbonate for my robot construction. It's really tough. Hill is that saying, consider WebRTC rather than Skype for guest spots. Equivalent, lack of latency, easier support via OBS. Cool, I'll check it out. Yeah, Skype is a nightmare for OBS.
And its quality always seems to be rather flaky, so it's not really reliable.
Yeah, Skype, and every time you fire it up, it updates. Yeah. Eastern browns are not adorable, they're psycho. yeah, brown snakes, red belly black snakes will chase you, actually. My mum has a great story of being chased by one. They'll chase you for sure, yeah. But the pythons are fine. Alan, where's the cheapest place in Australia to buy filament? I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but I like Hobby King, especially considering that it's so close and cheap to where I am. Or Kingdom 3D, I think, sells eSun quite cheaply. Those two are pretty good. Or go down to your local Aldi this Wednesday, and they should have filament for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
More combat robots, please. Yep, that's the plan. More robots this year. More everything this year.
Yeah.
I've sacrificed the garage. It's now a complete workshop. No cars are allowed in it.
Yeah.
My poor Galant's going to be parked outside. It's going to just have to take one for the team because I need more space for my tools and things. So it's how it is.
We actually parked it under a tree in the park, which has led to some interesting instances of a lot of bugs calling it home now. And once there were caterpillars on top of it, and after one rainy day, we found one poor little drowned caterpillar on top of the car, and it's like, well done, little fella.
Yeah, it did a good job. And also praying mantises, we took it for a ride down the freeway to some shops, and there was a praying mantis on the spoiler. And then we came back, and it was still on the spoiler. Hanging on for dear life. Hopefully it doesn't hail. Look, yeah, it's under a tree. If it did hail, it's just what it is.
Okay.
I need to focus on the channel.
See, Terrence King again. Okay, Lady Muse, will you get me a concept robot of Maker Muse and Sexy Cyborg if you can? I'll see. I tend to draw what inspires me at the time. Like, I'm, always keen to talk commissions, but otherwise it's just, whatever goes at the time goes. So, yeah. Can't make no promises.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she draws what she wants at this stage.
Yeah. But I always do encourage people to, if you want to try your own handed robot concepts and stuff, definitely go trial your own designs. I mean, like, I envy people who can 3D model. They can create, amazing things. So, have a crack at it.
Yeah, exactly. 3D printing lab, I'm giving up on this polypropylene. It won't stick to the PEI on the Mark II. Yeah, there's no chance it's going to stick to PEI. It only sticks to itself. it will only print on polypropylene tape, like packing tape. Yeah, it will not print on anything else. So if they didn't mention that in the box, that's a bit fail on their part. Ron Floyd, what is the process that Lulzbot used where they added carbon fiber string to their prints for strength? That's not Lulzbot. That's the Mark Forged printers, and they've got some proprietary method. It's very complicated. I think Tested has done some videos with them, but it basically pulls it through on a second spool, and it has like a special filament they've developed which has nylon around the carbon. So it's got like 2 nozzles, and one of them is always the carbon, and it's got like a little cutting blade to stop it and start it. It's very clever.
3D nublet. I really liked your corgi bears. Reminds me of my fat corgi. Yeah, no, corgis are adorable, and I really enjoy my little corgi bears, so there'll probably be more designs of them.
Ron's asking, what printer do you think is the one printer you avoid to review? I tend not to avoid printers. I've given everything a fair chance, but if I reviewed something and I didn't like it, I'm not going to go back to it. I review things as like a newcomer to 3D printing would receive it. So like the Flying Bear Tornado, I reviewed it as someone would have received it, not as a platform that can be used to learn how to make stuff, because that's not what I'm buying 3D printers for. I'm buying them to make things. So look, there's some really cheap kits I'm not going to touch ever again, because they come with dangerous mains wiring potential, which I don't even want to show on the channel. Terrible instructions, completely community supported, like the manufacturer doesn't even care. They're just a box of parts. I don't touch that crap on Maker's Muse. I am only interested in empowering your creativity, and I can only really do that by demonstrating printers that work as printers without spending weeks tinkering. If you're into that, fine, but on Maker's Muse, it's not what I do. Yep. That 3D print guy is still early for me. I thought you had Anna Kendrick as a guest host. I'm not sure who Anna Kendrick is, but I actually had the time set for Perth 10 a.m. So you would have been on time for the Perth time, but I just changed it last minute. I avoided the CR10. Yes, I did avoid the CR10 as well, but only because so many other people had reviewed it. There's no point for me to review something everyone else has reviewed. That's another thing I'll do. If something's so hot that there's like 10 reviews of it, what benefit do I add? It's not worth my time to do a review that no one really cares about because it's already reviewed.
And if it's already been covered, quite extensively, I mean, what more could you really add?
Yeah, exactly. Have I tested out the Ultra Base products by Anycubic? Yes, I've tested it out on the JG Aurora A5, which happened to have the same print surface. We are dying in here. It's getting hotter and hotter. I'm just going to turn the aircon on. Sorry, guys. And we're going to finish up shortly. Holy balls, it's getting hot.
It gets hot in this room.
Oh, man. I've tried that, but Hobby King sell eSun pretty cheap. Okay. Cover a couple more questions, and then we'll finish up, guys. 3D printing llama, hello. Yes, it is Angus's better half indeed. She's finally on a stream.
Yeah, got over my stage fright.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so look, again, guys, Maker's Muse Live is going to be for several purposes. One will be for printing builds and that sort of thing, which is downstairs in the workshop. I just finished doing the Prusa Mark III build, which was, thank you so much for everyone that was following along with that. It took about 9 hours, I think, with like 3 sets of 3-hour streams to build it, quite casually, really. I made a few mistakes, I reconciled them, and the printer's working great. It's actually printing right now downstairs. But there'll be things in that workshop on the Wednesday, which is probably your Tuesday if you're in America, time slot. And in this time slot, we're going to be doing news and talk show style content. So this is the room set up for it. To cover things, we're planning to look at Kickstarter campaigns, planning to look at recent news and tech developments in the making field, and also talk to some guests as well. So we've got Lady Muse here who can cover illustration and that sort of field.
Well, also just general design principal areas, and also just having an outsider's look into the whole tech industry and 3D printing and how I as a consumer relate to the product.
Yeah, because it's an interesting point of view to come from that angle, whereas I'm quite in depth into things. I often have a different view because 3D printing is my livelihood. I'm quite well ingrained into it. And then, yeah, just have a fun chill out with you guys. It's really enjoyable to be able to do this.
Yeah, and also just let know if you want me to be more regular on the show, or if you just like to have Angus all to yourselves.
I'm sure she won't be too far away.
Lurking in the background.
So just a couple more questions before we finish up, dudes. MD Roberts, having trouble printing ABS extruded part needs support. Separates from the support. Any hints? If it's warping away from support, try to keep the chamber warmer, and you might need to decrease your support distance so it's closer to the part. I don't know what slicer you're using, but under the support settings there'd be like a separation distance. Make that closer. It might weld, but you can just cut it away. But warping's the main perpetrator here. The questions about starting 3D printing channels, I'm going to be talking about that in a future video, so just hold out for that. Does Angus have an account Makers Muse on the Linus Tech Tip forum? I do. I have a Makers Muse account which I very rarely comment on 3D printing topics in their thread, which is very rare now because 3D printing is not really the hype now. It's more stuff about drones on that thread, that forum, sub-forum.
Yeah, I think 3D printing has kind of dropped out of the whole hype forum and is now into that specialized niche market now, so...
Yeah, but I do have Makers Muse on Linus Tech Tips is me, it's not some fraud. Don't worry about that. And how big is the biggest spider I've ever found in my house? We have found multiple massive multiple massive huntsmans. Easily bigger than my hand, quite a fair bit larger. They love to go into the warm houses, so we get a lot of huntsmans. But you just catch them and put them outside. They're harmless.
I actually think the cockroaches are worse.
Well, they catch the cockroaches actually. Huntsmans hunt other insects. That's why they're called huntsmen. So they catch cockroaches and kill them. So they're actually good bugs. They're good spiders.
Earwigs are creepy.
Earwigs are awful. They'll come in sometimes. Yeah, they're weird. Yuri, can I send you my STL files? You can try sending an email through to sales@Makers Muse, but I can't promise I'll get back to you because we get so many requests to print things. But if I find it a use for them, I'll give it a go and I'll give you a shout out. But I can't promise anything.
See it as like the Angus lottery. Like you may be one of the lucky ones he prints this week.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm actively telling suppliers now, no, I'm not reviewing your product. We just we don't have the time. So, yeah, try your luck. I can't promise anything, guys. Do I do crypto? Only for the donations. So, I don't invest in crypto, but I do find it an interesting thing. So I'm keeping an eye on it, and just for a bit of a laugh, I thought I would make a crypto donation just to see how it went. And some of you guys have been awesome and given me some Ethereum to play with. So thank you so much for the support. I do appreciate it. But yeah, it's not mandatory by any means.
No.
I just what?
No.
I have to admit, the collapse of BitConnect. BitConnect. I did laugh quite a bit, and I'm sorry to everyone who lost money through BitConnect, but oh my god.
The tragedy is not funny.
The tragedy isn't funny, but it's almost insane how much money was invested into BitConnect for it to fall over.
I think it's like you're laughing at the absurdity.
I mean, the idea of converting your already valuable bitcoins to another cryptocurrency token for a different platform, that's already red flags to me. So yeah, I'm sorry guys if you're investing in BitConnect. It's interesting because a lot of people were being referrals for BitConnect because they were getting in on the hype. So I'm not sure what's going to happen to those people because I mean, it's essentially partaking in fraud at this point. If BitConnect's fallen over with people's investments and you're making money off that, I wouldn't want to be those people. Yeah. Anyway. A couple more questions. Old Salty RC, should I be worried about storing PLA in a sealed dry container? Depends where you live. If you live in a very humid environment, then maybe. PLA does get brittle. I demonstrated it on my recent Makerspace video. Some PLA that had been left in the printer was very brittle. but I don't really do it with PLA. I do it with nylons. Nylons you definitely have to keep in a sealed environment because they absorb moisture. Same with polycarbonates. But PLA, I don't worry too much, honestly. Holy crap. GH42, thank you so much. Keep it up and don't burn out. Go play some disc golf and don't forget to unplug once in a while. Dude, thank you so much.
Not sure what disc golf is, but I think you'll just have to try that, won't you?
Don't burn out. Go analog. I don't know why it made analog stars. Play some disc golf. Don't forget to unplug once in a while. Buy or print some discs.
Oh, I know why it blocked out that word.
Why?
Check the first 4 words.
Analog. That's a bit silly of the system.
But thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I like it how you avoided saying the word.
Well, I didn't know what it was going to be. Thank you. Shout out to GH42 for that. Thanks so much, man. I will definitely go offline for the rest of the day. It is the weekend. We just had Australia Day yesterday and we chilled out, so I'm going to chill out. There's already some class action lawsuits going against people who were promoting BitConnect.
Really?
The BitConnect disconnect.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. I'm going to look into that. That's really interesting. Frisbee golf. Oh, that's a thing. What's it? It's a professional sport with frisbees.
I can think. Ultra frisbee.
Ultra disc or something.
Something like that.
It's actually a professional sport. We played it once in high school. It was really fun.
No, we're not doing that.
Do you know the way?
No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that.
You will show us the way.
No, you're not doing that. I will end you. Do you want the punishment hammer?
Oh yes, we have a band hammer. We haven't needed to use it on this stream.
A band hammer, you say?
Yeah.
It's not a band hammer, it's the punishment hammer.
Reveal the Bunnings band hammer. Bunnings was giving them away for Australia Day.
Yeah, the lady was like to me, "You can take as many as you like," and I think I'll just have the one for now.
Yeah, there you go. Ultimate Frisbee, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ultra Disc was pretty close. Go on, hit me with a band hammer.
Hard or soft? Would you like it hard?
Show me the way. That was hard.
You want that for that comment to.
Oh man.
Okay.
MKBHD does it professionally. Yeah, he does. Ed's a tool. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Nice new microphone. This was bought thanks to your support, guys. Next step's a better camera, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And what was I talking about? MKBHD. That's right.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested in learning more about the tech review scene, what I wanted you to do after we finish here, because we're almost done, is to go over to the H3H3 podcast channel. So Ethan and Ela do podcasts. They're really interesting. They just interviewed MKBHD. It's a really interesting interview. Like, he talks about Tesla for the first half. I'm not too interested in Tesla. I like my gas-guzzling JDMs. Yeah. But the second half, they're talking about running a tech review channel and talking about cherry-picking and, biased reviews and that sort of thing. It's really interesting to hear from his opinion, like working with companies like Samsung and Motorola and giving negative feedback. It actually helps them. And I think it's interesting to talk about because the 3D printing review scene's so young and green. A lot of these manufacturers don't quite understand the value of negative feedback, where they can use it to grow their products and improve them over time. Whereas we've actually had a bit of negative backlash from some companies because of negative feedback. Whereas he talks as that doesn't really happen. But also, it's interesting talking about companies like Apple, who don't even partake in the review scene. They will never send review units. They never employ social media influencers. So
why would they?
Yeah, it's really interesting because you need to keep in mind that a lot of these tech reviewers have to buy their own tech still. Even if they're massive, Apple will never send an iPhone to a company. Like D-Brand, who work with Linus Tech Tips a lot, they do skins for Apple phones and laptops. They'll send them the skinned items, but D-Brand's fronting the cost, not Apple. It's really interesting. Go check that out, guys, as a bit of an insight into a tech reviewer's mindset.
And also, they're just a fabulous couple.
Yeah, and Ethan and Ela are gorgeous, and MKBHD presents amazingly well as well.
3D printed food.
Also, I just joined Patreon. How do I partake in the rewards? We're doing a stream tomorrow for Patreon subscribers. And if you want to get any of the old ebooks and things, just send me a message and I'll sort it out for you, depending on the tier that you're in. But just send me a message and we'll sort it out on Patreon. Cool, guys. I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for joining. This has been a lot of fun, actually. This will be our regular slot as much as possible because, as always, because I work for myself, I'm always having to go attend family events because, you can just drive down on the weekday, Angus. It's not like you have a real job.
Oh, wow. Spending time with family. The struggle is real.
So, because internet's so scarce in Australia, we may or may not be able to stream if we're out of office, so to speak. But this is the slot that I'm planning to do these news and talk show style streams on. Probably with Lady Muse in future. I mean, let me know if you've enjoyed her being on the stream. I've had a blast. It's a lot of fun having someone else to bounce things off. And I will see you guys from Patreon tomorrow at the same time for our Patreon stream, probably from here. And then I'll see you next week from the workshop with another workshop project. So till next time, guys, look out for more videos on the regular Makers Muse channel. Thank you for everyone who's subscribed and donated to the stream. Really appreciate you. And look forward to seeing you again very shortly here on Makers Muse.
Yeah, and thank you for having me around.
And thank you for joining us.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay, so you
See you
guys
later,
have a
guys.
lovely week. Bye.
Bye. And...